Welcome to my latest little sit-down quilt chat. Here's my March finish. All right, I have my latest quilt finish. This is the guest bedroom at my parents' house. I finished this one down to the wire. I think it's like 11:23 the night before we flew out to get up to Pennsylvania. But I finished it and I made it here. So ironically enough, I feel like it wasn't even like 3 months ago that I had said I'm not going to do another scrap quilt for a long time, and here we are. I saw a quilt on Facebook. It was like a suggested post, like algorithm fed me. And it was this, I don't remember, it was the 16 patch or like 32, maybe like smaller squares, just with like sashing and cornerstones. But they did it in like a really artsy way. That they had, the sashing was like black and white, so that everything like melded together. So that's kind of the direction I wanted to go in. I wanted to not be purposely matching colors, so I did a lot of florals and mismatched patterns kind of right next to each other. Sometimes two florals butted up against each other. But I had the hardest time choosing my sashing. And I'd already been to the quilt store, so I didn't want to go back. I wanted to find something in my stash since I was like, knew we're flying out. So it's like a 3-day period. Then I was like, I gotta find something. And I finally decided on this. It's by Gingerbread. It's like a almost folk art symmetrical pattern of flowers and dots and very like flat, like lino cut style, or like, I don't know, flat imagery. So then once I had decided that middle with the florals, I had to decide on my cornerstone fabric, which I ended up doing this Warp and Weft by Alexia Marcella Ebeg. And I haven't used it's fabric I have been saving. Like, this is a special fabric and I totally love it. It pulls out the oranges and little pop of yellow, and they're all textured with the like little tassels sticking up. So then for the backing, I did the same kind of coral color that also has this like lime polka dot all over it, which I think really brightens it up, so it's not like a super dark quilt. And then on the edges, I pretty much ended up using what I had done for my sashing, because I was having so much trouble deciding on which pattern, which fabric of all my dark fabrics that had a little bit of color in them or black and white. I just cut a bunch of strips and was like laying them out to see what would look the best. So I just used all those 2.5 strips. Hi. Candy cigarettes. I want to eat these. I don't know how old these are. Here you go. Why don't you put them in the trash or put them upstairs?
Why did you say that?
Because I don't know where a trash can is down here. Okay. So, and especially because I was on a crunch for time, I was like, it worked out great. I already had all these sashing strips cut that I had trialed for the quilt that I wasn't using. So that's what my binding is. So I ended up butting up all the black and white ones together. And then the ones that had a pop of color, I put all on the same 2 sides. So I think it goes with the scrappy look, and then, yeah, just doesn't stand out too much. I added a grunge navy blue border. Just I felt like it needed to be a little bit bigger, and I wanted some like solid-ish fabric for your eye to rest on outside of the scrappy squares. So that's it. Oh, and the quilting, you probably can see better from the back. I just did cross hatching probably about 3 inches apart, which is probably my favorite easy, fast quilting. Since I'm doing it diagonally, you do your longest line first, and then it just gets faster and easier as you move towards the outside. So yeah, that's it, my latest finish. I do say some of my favorites in here are like the Tim Holtz that has like a little bit of lettering and then some floral imagery. And then also there's like a Julia Child blender from there. Well, that was the Julia Child line. It's got like teacups and teapots. And then the blender was like this one, which has pieces of recipes and then imagery and a little bit of cursive. So yeah, there's tons of happy pieces. I just love just being like bright, colorful, a little bit moody. So that's it. And I listened to all of Tom Lake while I read this, which I absolutely loved, and a little bit of the next book that I'm on, A Place for Us, which I guess I listened about like 5 hours of that. So yeah, that will tell you about how long it took, like 15 hours, I'd say. Very fast. I did strip piece all the squares, so that made it faster than the last scrap quilt. And now I actually have like at least like 15 extra. So maybe I'll make another. I don't know. Here's a chance to check out some close-ups and get a look at all the different fabrics I put together for this. This really was so fun, and I hope it inspires you.